Hello, hello, everyone. Good evening, good evening. This is Dr. Nick, your favorite personal growth coach. And I am excited to be here with you again on this evening, this wonderful Wednesday evening, as we are talking about adulting in my purpose. So I'm calling out all my millennials, all my young professionals, all my young adults, all my recent grads, all of you in your 20s and your 30s who are seeking, who are searching, who are wanting to understand their purpose, understand what is it that they are called to do in life, who feel that they're stuck, overwhelmed. I know we are in a time and right now that everything seems uncertain. There's a lot of things going on in this world, and you have to adjust and you have to be flexible. And a lot of times when you're in that wonderful young adult, merging adult, soon to be adult, or trying to be adult phase in your life, you kind of get lost in the sauce, you get overwhelmed, and you just kind of feel that you're stuck and you feel that you're all by yourself. And so my goal and my hope with this Adulting in My Purpose series is to help that, is to be an answer. This series is coming out of my journal that was recently published. It's available on Amazon if you don't have it. Adulting in My Purpose, 7 personal growth journeys to help millennials navigate this complex world. And this was birthed out of my own journey of understanding my purpose, understanding what it is that God has called me to do. So welcome everybody. I am excited. I believe that we are going to have a wonderful time just this evening as we talk about adulting in my purpose. And today, I want to talk about adulting with clarity. And that is so important when we are talking about understanding our purpose, understanding our goals, understanding what is it that we want to do in life. How do we get clarity? How do we move with confidence? How do we move with understanding of knowing what is it that we're called to do? What is it that we want to do? What is it the things that God has placed in us to manifest, and how do we do that with clarity? So come on in, like, share, uh, put this on your Facebook page, invite your friends, let them know that we are going to have a good time. It is a time of growth because why? We don't have anything to do. We're quarantined. So we want to use this time and this opportunity that we have, not to just be wasteful with our time, but be strategic and be intentional. We now have a lot of time. So when I was thinking about just being the whole idea of being social distancing and being quarantined and not being able to do the things that I normally do, I saw this as an opportunity for growth and just saw its opportunity to get some clarity, to find my next moves, and to use this time wisely as I move out into doing the next things and moving into the next season. So the idea is that when we do get through this and we know this is a season, what would be your next move? What's going to be your next move? What's going to be different? You've been in a place where you are seeking, you're in a place where you feel overwhelmed, you're in a place where you are wanting to do something different. You're wanting to find your purpose. You're wanting to move in your purpose. So what is going to be different? What are you going to do different to have a different result once this is over? So that is what we're going to talk about, how to adult with clarity. So like, share, tell your young people to come on in if you're watching from my page. If you are a millennial, get some notes, get some pencil or paper, get some notes, and take some thoughts of some of the lessons that I have learned in my journey that I'm going to share with you tonight. So again, for those that are watching that may not know who I am Dr. Nicole Rankin, Dr. Nick for short. That's what everybody calls me. And I am your favorite personal growth coach. I am the CEO of the Cole Academy of Personal Growth, and we are a professional development company that provides leadership development, personal growth, and communication training, as well as career coaching to leaders and students. So our mission is to help leaders become better leaders of themselves, of others, but most importantly, themselves. So it's an exciting thing. I started the company in 2017. And that was kind of my leap and my journey of self-discovery in moving into the things that God has called me to do and going to the next level in my life. So business has been great. It has been a wonderful reward to be able to move and operate in your purpose, knowing that you are doing things that you have been gifted to do. And it's just an overwhelming feeling. So that is who I am. I have been working with young people for a long time. I've been working with young people for over 15 years in youth development and youth ministry. And it's just an amazing opportunity to not only be a part of the lives of young people, but just to see them evolve and see them grow into the people that God has destined them to be. And it's an amazing opportunity that even, some of the people that I have mentored when they were in middle school or in elementary, just to see how they have grown and become young men and women and doing things in society and finding their path. It's just an amazing thing. So everybody knows this is my heart. This is my passion, helping our next generation get to where they need to be, helping them understand their purpose, helping them to understand their place in life. That is my heart and that's my passion. Dr. Nick loved the kids. Everybody knows that, right? So that is something that I love to do. So we are going to talk about, this series is for all my millennials, all my young adult, all my young professionals, recent grads, anybody in their 20s and 30s. And the reason I wanted to focus on that particular age group is because I do mentor a lot of people in that demographic, and I may do one-on-one, I may do some group sessions, but what I discovered was that every time I talk to them, there may be a different situation, but the core root is the same. And I'm thinking like, wait a minute, everybody's going through the same thing. So why not? And everybody's trying to find the answers and everybody's going through the same thing. So that is how this series kind of birthed in honing in on that demographic. But of course, all the lessons that I teach is for anybody who is wanting to grow. I did my first live last week, and I got some amazing reviews and text message and Facebook DMs to say it was great, and how adults were saying, I need this for myself. So, all these lessons that I learned are adaptable to any age. But again, I'm definitely focusing on my millennial group. So let's get started. And as always, when I do my lessons and I teach, I always like to go back, because going back is reinforcement. So last week, we talked about adulting during adversity. And I gave you 5 strategies to adult in adversities. Hey, Evelyn. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Larry. Hey, Joan. Hey, Tanita. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So last week we talked about adulting during adversity, and I gave you 5 strategies, and I'm just going to go over that real quick. If you didn't, the videos are still on my page. You can look at those lessons and go back and take notes on that. So 1 was be willing to bet on yourself. 2 was lead yourself instead of accepting it. 3 was love what you do and do what you love. Number 4 was don't compare yourself or your dream to others. And 5 was believe in your vision even when nobody else does. So that's what we talked about last week, adulting through adversity and how to keep plunging in and moving forward. So if you didn't get that lesson, go back and look at it. So this week, we're talking about adulting with clarity. So how many people out there have heard of the phrase, write the vision and make it plain. Right. I know for all my church saints, they know that verse, write the vision and make it plain. And it sounds good, but what does it actually mean? And how do we put that into action? So it comes from Habakkuk 2, chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. And it says, write the vision, make it plain on tablets that he may run who reads with it. For the vision is yet for appointed time, but at the end, it will speak and not lie. Though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come to pass. Now, I'm going to focus on that. But again, these lessons are coming out of my journal, Adulting with Your Purpose. So if you don't have that, it's available on Amazon. Go ahead and get it, because we are going to be using this and building on this series. So 5 strategies for adulting with clarity. Because the idea of when we're becoming adults is, how do I know for sure that I'm supposed to go in a certain direction? How do I know for sure that I'm supposed to take the route that I think I'm supposed to take? So that is what we're going to talk about. So I have 5 strategies. So number 1 is, don't dismiss your dreams or visions. Don't dismiss your dreams or visions. And what does that mean? When you think about, let's first talk about what a dream or vision is. So when you think about a dream or vision, a dream gives you insight, foresight into decisions that you should be making or actions that you should be taking. And a vision is, it gives you a picture of an alternative future. So biblically speaking, we see God gave dreams and visions to people all throughout the Bible. So don't dismiss your dreams or visions, meaning the problem comes in when we have dreams, we have visions that, may just be reoccurring, something that we think about or an idea. And due to your current situation, you dismiss it. You may say, I don't have the money right now, or I don't have the education, or I don't have the resources, or wow, that's a huge goal, I don't think I can accomplish it. And we begin to have that dialogue with ourselves, and we self-sabotage ourselves with the dreams that God has placed in us. So don't dismiss your dreams and visions. The dreams that you have, the visions that you have, are there for a purpose. Right? They're there to give you clues. It's like a whole big puzzle. I always say this, life is like a puzzle. There's a big picture, and we're just in life trying to figure out which pieces go together. That's what we're doing to get to this whole vision. That's the journey of our lives, to figure out the pieces to the puzzle. So when you get a dream, when you get an idea, when you get a thought, maybe I can do this, or wow, I have skills to do that. That sounds good. But when you get the dream, it seems so huge. It seems like it's so far away that you begin to look, rather than keeping your eyes on the distance and keeping your eyes on the end goal, you begin to look at your current state. And your current state may be a fact. You may not have the money right now. You may not have the resources right now. You may not have the education or the skill set right now, but that's not the truth. The truth is, you can gain all of those things. The truth is understanding the vision. And when God gives you a vision, just like we talked about I just read in Habakkuk, it said to wait on it because it's going to come to pass. And that's the thing that we have to trust. When it's a download from God, right? Master of the universe, author and omega of beginning and the end. He knows the plans. He gives us a vision. We have to trust that it's going to come to pass. But the problem lies, again, is when we start to look at our current situation, and we begin to talk ourselves out the dream, and we begin to dismiss the dreams and the visions that we have. And we start taking another path that seems more sure, or that seems more feasible for the time and for the season that you're in now. So we base our future goals and future dreams on our current situation. So number 1 strategy in adulting with clarity is, don't dismiss your dreams or visions. Now, I like the story of a young boy going fishing with his dad. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Derek. Hey, Britt. Hey, Susan. Welcome. I like the story of a young boy going fishing with his dad, and they went fishing, and they're out in the water, and he's out there catching his fish, and first catching these small little fish, and getting so excited that he's catching fish. He's putting him in the bucket. He caught another small fish and put it in the bucket. Then all of a sudden he throws the hook out there, and a fish catches, and he's pulling, and dad is like, whoa, that's a big one, son, you're doing awesome, pull, be careful, pull it up, pull it up. So he pulls up, after a time of the struggle, he pulls up this 14-inch big fish. And dad's all excited, running in the boat, like, oh my gosh, son, you did such an awesome job. Let's take a picture. So he pulls the fish in, he takes the picture, but the son looks at it and thinks for a little bit and tosses the fish back into the water. And perplexed, the dad says, son, why did you do that? Why did you throw that amazing big fish back into the water? And the son says, well, dad, our frying pan at home is only 9 inches. You see, a lot of times when we think of a vision and God gives us a huge vision, we think that it's huge. We know it's huge. We know it's big, but we're thinking about our current situation, the resources that we may have now, the things that we have in our place now, and we toss the dream, we toss the vision away. So that's why number one lesson in adulting with clarity is don't dismiss your vision or dreams. The things that God has given you, the things that you go to bed and you wake up and you think about, or you're at work and you may not be what you're wanting to do, but you think your thoughts are going and you have an idea. Well, maybe I should do this. Don't dismiss that. A lot of times when I talk to young people, and that's the first thing I ask them, what is your vision? What are the things that you see yourself doing? Where do you see yourself in about 10 years? How do you use your imagination to tap into the things that God has deposited in you? So don't dismiss your dream or vision. That's number one, okay? So number two, for adulting with clarity. Number two, hey, Tamika, hey, Celeste. Number two is bring your dream into focus. Bring your dream into focus. Bring your dream into focus. Number two. And what do I mean to that? I want you to think about GPS. So you going into your car, you have somewhere to go. I don't know, how we actually traveled before GPSs. I actually have no idea. I thought about it the other day. Like, how did we actually get around without a GPS? But neither here nor there. It's a necessity now. But think about a GPS. And when you're going to put into your navigation and your GPS, there are 2 points that you need, right? You need your current destination, your current location, and then the destination in which you're going, right? Those are 2 points that you have to be clear on, right? Because you don't go to a GPS and say, Siri, Alexa, whatever, take me somewhere, a roundabout corner. It looks like it may be down the street next to a building. It doesn't work like that. It needs a destination. So same thing with your life. You have to bring that dream into focus. So a lot of times when we get that vision, we have a dream, that alternative picture for our future. And let's say that we don't dismiss it, but the problem is we don't bring that dream into focus, meaning that we don't get the clarity that we need on where we're going. So we kind of get a glimpse of it, and then we may start moving and start working. And the problem with that is too often that we're working on the steps to get to somewhere when we don't even really know where we're going, because we never took the time to get that clarity and to bring our dream into focus so we can know for sure where we're going and which direction we're going in. So we spend a lot of times trying to figure out the how, and wondering why we confused, wondering why things aren't working, wondering why does it feel that I'm not moving? It's because you don't have clarity on where you're going. And so we have to take that time to bring our dreams into focus. And the thing about our bringing our dreams into focus, I like when I decided to take my leap of faith into this wonderful journey of entrepreneurship. And when I first started, it was started with the idea of doing it in 2015. And I joined the John Maxwell team. For those that know, I'm a certified speaker teacher coach with the John Maxwell team. And they're all excited. They're saying, go, jump, jump, do it, do it, do it, jump, jump. And so yes, I got hyped. I got pumped. I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. And this was in 2015. So I started just doing things. I started doing workshops. I started, doing masterminds and training sessions. But I did not know what I was doing, and I didn't know where I was going. It didn't make sense to me. And I felt like I was just spinning the wheels, spinning the wheels. I would go to networking events, and with networking events, you got to give that wonderful elevator pitch. And when it came to me, and people asked me, well, what do you do? I was like, I don't know. I have no clue. But I was just busy doing and busy going because I didn't take the time to bring that vision into focus so I can get true clarity. I had the glimpse, I had, a glimpse of the vision that God has given me, but it wasn't clear. And I was just so excited that I wanted to just work and do that. I didn't take the time to bring that vision into focus. So I just was moving. So of course, I went and I invested in a coach and to guide me through that process of bringing that vision into focus, getting clarity, being specific on the things that I needed to do and how the vision of what it looks like so I can know what steps I need to take to get there. So a lot of times when we have dreams, we have visions, we don't take the time to bring them into focus. And we're just working, and we're not moving, we're not going anywhere. It's just a bunch of activities, a bunch of things that we're doing, but it's not in alignment with where we're supposed to be going. So that's why lesson number 2 is to take the time to bring your dreams into focus. And once I did that, once I took the time and I got the vision, I got the end goal. Now everything I do, I start with the end in mind. I start with the end in mind when I'm making decisions. I start with the end in mind when I am accepting clients. I start with the end in mind when I'm accepting engagement. Is this in alignment with the big picture, with the dream and destination that God has placed in me? So you have to ask yourself, and once you bring that into focus, then you can have clarity. Then your steps in between, just like that GPS, the how makes sense. So a lot of times especially when you're in that adulting stage or that finding yourself stage and proving yourself as an adult, you feel that you need to rush and just figure out things and figure out the how when you don't have the clarity, you don't have the focus of the end destination. So number 2 is bring your dreams into focus. So whether that is, one thing I like to do with my clients when I first start is have them do, and I encourage you to do this as well, have you do a detailed description of your vision. So thinking about, it's in the word, write the vision and make it plain. You got to make it plain, so think about where you want to be in the next 10 years from now. So think about if you could have everything that you needed, all your resources, all the money you needed, you had all ideal situation, you had your dream team, nothing could stop you. What would your life look like 10 years from now? What is that picture? And that's where you would need to work on. What would that picture look like? And you want to get as detailed as possible. If you want to, whatever your goal, if you want to live a certain way, if you want to earn a certain income, if you want to have businesses, if you want to, have a certain education, whatever it is for you, 10 years from now, think 10 years out. What does that ideal situation look for you? What is that big vision for you? And don't think about where you are right now. Don't think about any limitations. Don't think about any self-belief. Just pop your imagination and tap into that childlike. Somehow, when we're young and we're free, we feel we can do anything. But as we grow into our adulthood and get older, somehow we lose that childlike imagination. So start with that 10-year vision. So I want you to, if you're taking notes, I want you to write now, what is my 10-year vision? If I could have everything that I needed, all the resources, all the things that I desire, all the money, what would that look like? What would that image look like? And start there. And then start bringing that into focus. Start bringing that into focus. So number one is don't dismiss your dreams or your visions. Number two is bring your dream into focus. So y'all still with me? Y'all with me? Y'all good? Hey, Maurice. Hey, Sonia. So number three, let me know y'all out there. Number three is be strategic about your inner circle. Be strategic. I'm going to say this loud. I'm going to say this for the people in the back. Be strategic about your inner circle. Now, think back to what the scripture that we read. Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, that he who may read it, he who may run, who reads it. Now, when you think about this in another version, it says the herald who reads it is the one that's going to read it and run with it. So when you think about a herald is just a person that's bringing the good news, bringing news to other people. So when you have a vision, when you have a dream that God has deposited in you, okay, you have a dream, you have a goal that God has given you, and it's an assignment for you to accomplish. It's not just for you, right? It's not just for you. It's not just for you to hoard and keep it to yourself. You need people in order for it to manifest. You need people. There's a quote that says, one is too small of a number for success. You're going to need people. But the thing is, you will need the right people. You can't just be going and telling your dreams and telling the visions and telling the things that God has placed in you to everybody. You can't do that. So you need to be strategic about your inner circle. When you get clarity on your dreams, the law of the inner circle says your potential is determined by those closest to you. And I want you to think about that right now, just for a quick second. Your potential is determined by those closest to you. So if you have dreams, if you have a particular goal that you're wanting to accomplish, if you have a vision that you're trying to manifest, if you have dreams that you're trying to manifest, and nobody in your inner circle is going after their dreams, or nobody in your inner circle is doing the very thing that you desire to do, then you need to check your inner circle. You have to be strategic about your inner circle. And it's so important that you connect yourself with like-minded people who are going in the same direction that you are, people who are going to challenge you, people who are going to push you. That's right, Celeste. If there is nobody in your inner circle, then you need a new inner circle. Absolutely. Right? You need to make some changes. Because you want people that's going to push you to the next level. You want people that you can see that is operating and doing the things that you are desiring to do. You want people that are going to up level your thinking. You want people that's going to hold you accountable. Misery loves company, right? So if you have dreams, if you have goals, and your circle is not in that mindset, then you have to get a new circle. You have to make some changes. You have to be strategic. You have to be adaptable and willing. Sometimes you do have to let go. Sometimes you do have to let go. And that's a part of the journey. Sometimes you do have to let go because there is a place and there's levels that God wants to take you that some people that you were hanging on to, they can't come with you. So you have to be strategic about your inner circle. There's a story that about a fisherman and a banker, and it said the investment banker was in on vacation, and in a short distance he saw a fisherman in a boat that had docked. The banker was impressed by the quality of fresh fish that the fisherman caught. He greeted the fisherman and asked him why didn't he catch more fish. Since there was some free space in the boat, the fisherman replied that the fish we have is enough to support the family needs for the next couple of days. But the banker then asked, then how do you spend the rest of your day if you're not fishing? And the fisherman replied, oh, life here is nice. I fish a little, I go home, I play with the kids, I chill with the wife. Then I take my family and we stroll into the village. I might find some new friends. We gather together and have some fun. Life is good. Then the banker said to him, look, I'm sure you have a good life here, but I can help you have an even better life. I'm an experienced businessman. I may have advice that you can set goals and become more successful in your fishing business. If you spend more time fishing, you'll earn more income and you'll be in a position to buy a bigger boat. Then you will buy a second boat. Then you'll sell the fish, not to a middleman, but to the processor directly. Eventually, you'll manage your own, control your own product, process it, and distribute it. Then he added, in order to manage your investments, you would need to leave the small village and move to the capital. The fisherman was puzzled and asked the banker very complicated things. How long would this take? The banker said 10 to 15 years. But then what? The fisherman asked. The banker smiled to him and said, then comes the best part, my friend. The right time, you announce your IBO and you will sell your company to a public. And if you do this, you could make millions. And then the fisherman said, I could be rich. Then the investor said, yes, you can retire. You can go back to your village. You can sleep in late, fish a little, play with your kids, have fun with your wife, stroll the village, enjoy your company of your friends, sip wine and a guitar, and live a good life. And the moral of the story is having the right people in your inner circle is going to up level your thinking. They said if you're the smartest person in the room, you need another room. Right. So being strategic about who is in your inner circle. If you have dreams, if you have visions, you have to have the right people in your inner circle. So number 3 is be strategic about your inner circle. So y'all good on that? That's lesson number 3. Be strategic about your inner circle. Lesson number 4 is use your wait time to prepare. Use your wait time to prepare. And what do I mean like this? I love my young people. I love my next generation. I love my emerging leaders because, you're in a society, you're in a season, a generation where everything is quick, fast, in a hurry. Everything is fast. And if it's not fast, you can wait to a couple of months and it's going to be something faster that's going to be out there, computers, phones, whatever. It's always, we want it quick. We want it now. But let me tell you, when you have a God-given vision, when you have a God-given dream, something that God has deposited in you, it is going to take time. There is a process in this. There is a journey that you're going to have to go through. You're going to have to take a dream. You're going to have to process and grow to become the person that you need to be in order to manifest this huge vision that God has given you. So I know. I know you want the microwave dream. I know you want the microwave visions. I know you want the microwave goal. I know you want the shortcuts and the fast lane. But let me tell you, if you're truly going to manifest the visions that God has given you, because we serve a big God, right? We serve a God of the universe. And if we can think and become alignment with the thoughts and the ideas that he's placed in us, using our gifts and maximizing our gifts to our fullest potential, it will blow your mind, right? So while we're in the process, we have to prepare. And a lot of times I love, especially when I'm talking to my wonderful church folks, I ask them something, they say, "Oh, I'm waiting on God. I'm waiting on God." And I'm like, "Okay, well, what you doing?" "Oh, I'm waiting on God." Like, okay, okay, I get that. I get it. I get it. But what are you doing? "Oh, I'm waiting on God." To me, no, 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 no. So even in that scripture, and I did a research on this years ago, when it said that the vision yet for appointed time, but at the end it will speak and not lie. So though it tarries, wait for it, because it will surely come to pass. When in that scripture, that word "wait" in the Hebrew means kawaf, and it means to look eagerly or expect. So in your waiting process, there is some things that you need to do to prepare, right? You have to wait eagerly. You're waiting with expectation. So I want you to think about, if once we are done with this quarantine and we can now have people at our house and you're expecting people to come over. Let's say you're throwing a party and you're expecting people to come over. Before they come, you're going to take some steps. You're going to clean up your house, maybe. You're going to prepare some hors d'oeuvres or appetizers or something, some little food, because folks coming to your house, they're going to be hungry. You're going to have the drinks. There's going to be a preparation stage, because you're going to be waiting for them and you're expecting them to come, right? So you're preparing. So why do we think it's different when God gives us a vision and he tells us to write the vision, make it plain? So once somebody runs with it and we're going to it, it's coming, and we're supposed to wait on that. We're not supposed to do anything. So in your waiting process, do what you need to do to prepare yourself. Do what you need to do to become the person that you need to be, to manifest, to be the dream. So when the opportunity comes, you're already prepared. Right? They said when opportunity comes, it's too late to get prepared. So you need to have that process. You need to take the steps that you need. You need to do your research. You need to get knowledgeable. If you need to learn a new skill, then you need to do that. You need to invest in yourself. If you need to invest in a coach and a mentor, if you need whatever that you need to do to prepare yourself for that vision that's going to be in alignment with what you need to do, right? So that's the thing. Prepare yourself. What are you waiting for? Waiting on God. God is waiting on you. I love that answer. Oh, I'm just waiting on God, and you're not doing nothing. It boggles me. So while you're waiting, while that vision, because it's going to be a process, it's not going to be an overnight thing. I don't care who you think about in your high levels of success, on your top 10 of successful people, it's a process. You ask them, it's a process. Even if it seems like it's an overnight success, even the YouTube sensations that seem like they have just been discovered overnight, let me tell you, they've been practicing. They've been clipping videos left and right for years before that one video got discovered. It's all a process. So we have to understand that even in the time that we're waiting for the manifestation of our dream to come true, prepare. I remember I watched this series, Self-Made, that's on Netflix, about Madam C.J. Walker. How many people have seen that? Hey, Renita. Oh, hey, Kenya. How many people have seen that? And I looked at it from a growth perspective as a personal growth coach, and looking at her journey and looking at her perseverance, that she had this huge vision that she would own her own manufacturing company to manufacture her hair products. Now that's unheard of in that time. That's unheard of. And to be a woman to do it, and a woman of color, that was unheard of. So that was a huge vision. But in the meantime, she kept that vision. She started with the end in mind. She said, that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I want to do. And then she started to prepare. She started in her home. She started then to get sales reps, and started to expand. So it became a process, right? So while she was waiting on that big vision to manifest, she did what she needed to do to prepare herself for when it happened. And then we all know the rest is history. So step number 4 is use your time wisely. You use your wait time to prepare. Use your wait time to prepare. And lesson number 5. Lesson number 5 is something that I have learned on my journey. Lesson number 5 is be adaptable to the plan. Be adaptable to the plan. And what do I mean by this? A lot of times, especially when we're young, again, we want the fast pace. We want that vision, and we want it now. And in our minds, it's supposed to go a certain way, right? We have the vision, we get the dream, we bring it into focus. We got our dream team, we got the right people in our inner circle. We're now preparing, but in our minds, it's supposed to go a certain way. I'm supposed to be 25 and I'm supposed to be married, have my white picket fence, my 2.5 children at 25. And then if that don't happen, it's supposed to be by 30. So we have the way it's supposed to be in our minds. But let me tell you, when God gives you a vision, when God gives you a dream and he deposits something in you and you make a commitment to say, I am going to move in that. I'm going to allow God to show me what to do, that you have to be adaptable to the plan. Because again, it's a process, it's a growth journey. You have to grow, you have to stretch yourself, you're going to have to put in the work to be able to rid yourself of self-doubt, rid yourself of limiting beliefs, rid yourself of any fears that you may have that's hindering you from moving forward to the next step. So all of that, when you have a plan, sometimes it doesn't go the way you plan. Sometimes it takes you just like a GPS. Sometimes you take a wrong road and you may go for a long way, but then it reroutes. So we have to be adaptable, because a lot of times when we are going into an unknown situation, we never achieved this dream before. So what makes us think that we're going to know exactly how to get there? Right? So let's think about that. Be adaptable to the plan. Allow God to grow us. Allow God to take us through whatever journeys we need to take us. Because the problem happens is when you have a dream and you think it's supposed to go a certain way and it doesn't happen that way, then automatically you try to toss out the dream. You say, well, that definitely may not have been God. That maybe that's not for me. But why not? Because the plan didn't work? Not so. There may be something on that journey for that season that you were supposed to get that will help you to grow, some challenge that you were supposed to overcome to help you get stronger, something that's going to push you out your comfort zone. And it was a lesson that you were supposed to learn that's going to help you get to that dream. But a lot of times when we hit that roadblock, we toss the dream out. And then we said, oh, that may not have been it. So we think about another dream. No, when God gives you a vision, right there when we talked about it, when God gives you a vision, he said, wait on it. It's going to come to pass. It's going to come to pass. Woo, those detours. I know, Celeste, there's a lot of detours. It's going to come to pass, but we have to be adaptable to the plan. Just because it doesn't go a certain way, the way we plan, doesn't mean we throw out the vision. Doesn't mean we throw out the dream. We become problem solvers, right? Because we're talking about adulting with clarity. We get the clarity that we need so we can come back. We can reroute back to where we were supposed to be. I can share the story when, again, when I jumped and I took this leap of faith again. I post a lot of things on Facebook because, it's an exciting journey. But let me tell you, if we had time to sit down and talk, and how many times that I have failed in the last 2 years, 3 years of this journey, how much money I have lost, how many roadblocks I have gone into, how many detours I have taken because I had a plan and it did work out. But I mean, that is real, but I grew through all those lessons. I grew through it. I all, they said experience is the best teacher, but it's the evaluation of those experiences that becomes the teacher. So when I sit back and I evaluate, okay, why did this happen? How did this happen? What can I learn from that? And how that's going to put me back on the trail so I can get back to the vision that God has given me. It's you will be amazed about all those detours that I have taken. And yes, which, like I said, don't I said this on the last live that we talked about, don't compare yourself to others. Which when people post stuff on social media, everything looks great and everything looks lovely, but you don't know the hurt, the struggle, the challenges that someone faced in order to continue to manifest their vision. So I have to be adaptable to the plan, and that's a hard thing for me. I can admit that. That's a hard thing for me because partly I like to be in control of things. I like to know. I need to know make sure all the I's are dotted on all the T's across. I need to have my hand in things. But, when it's a God vision, God said, this is not about you. This is not about you. I need you to trust me. I need you to have that faith of a mustard seed. I need you to move forward when I say move. I need you to stop when I say stop. I need you to go when I say go. It's not about me. If I take you on this journey, I take you this way, go. And if you fail, that's fine. Learn your lesson. I'm going to bring you back because I got you. So we have to be adaptable to the plan. So when you're in this adulting stage in your life, trying to figure it out, it may not work out the way you plan, but don't throw away the dream. Don't throw away the vision. All you got to do is reroute, figure out another way to get there. Figure out another plan. Right? There's more than one plan to get to where you need to go. So understanding that being adaptable to the plan is critical to adulting with clarity, because you need clarity to know where you're going, but you don't necessarily need the clarity on the how to get there. When it's a God thing, let me say that when it's a God thing, because he wants your trust, he wants your faith in him. So he wants to get all the glory out of you. He wants you to truly put your hands and put your faith in him. So I trust, like, for my when I am in this life, in this whole new entrepreneurial life, let me tell you, each day is unknown. Each day is uncertain. I'm like, okay, Lord, what we doing today? How we gonna do this? So I have to be adaptable. So that's something, a major thing that I learned when adulting with clarity and adulting in my purpose, that I have to be adaptable to the plan. And I'm going to leave you this. I see our time is coming out, winding down. And it's a story of a preacher on the roof. And it goes like this. The preacher of a parish near a village is about to lock the door and return home when the rainstorm starts. The rainstorm grows stronger every minute. The preacher decides to wait for a while inside the parish office until the rain is over. But the rain only grows stronger, and after a few hours, the parish house becomes flooded. The water rises, and the preacher climbs to the roof and starts praying. Lord, please save me so I can continue preaching your gospel. That moment, a Coast Guard rescue party floats by in a riverboat. Come down now and get in the boat. No, sir, I'll stay here, replied the preacher. I'm sure that my Lord will stop the rain and save me. An hour later, the second boat approaches the parish when the water is close to the roof. Sir, get in quickly. Thank you, but I'll stay here. The Lord will provide. I am certain the rain will stop any minute. A couple hours later, the roof was almost completely underwater. The preacher now is clinging by the satellite dish on the top of the roof. A helicopter approaches the roof. Sir, grab on the line. We'll pull you up. The voice was heard on the loudspeaker. No, please go. I'm all right. My Lord will provide a sanctuary, says the preacher as he looked up heavenward. After the helicopter flew away, lightning hits the satellite dish and the preacher is killed. He arrives furious at the pearly gates. Why did you not? Why did this happen? He shouts. I thought the Lord said he would provide in a thunderous voice. And the Lord replied, give me a break, pal. I sent you 2 boats and a chopper. So I say that to say, you got to be adaptable to the plan. Because you may think you're going one way, but God has a plan for you going this way. And just because it doesn't look the way that you planned it out, you don't go that way and you miss the blessing. You miss the thing that God has for you because you're so focused on what you want to do, how you want to do it, in the way that you want to do it. So you have to be adaptable to the plan. So that is all the lessons, the strategies that I have. So that's number 5. So we went through number 1, don't dismiss your dreams or visions. Number 2, bring your dreams to focus. Number 3, be strategic about your inner circle. Number 4, use your wait time to prepare. And number 5, be adaptable to the plan. So I hope, hey y'all, hey Maurice, I hope that something I said was helpful for you. I encourage you truly to, if you're taking notes, to go back in your own personal time, to go back and think about how these strategies can be applied in your life and where you are. If you're if you're one of my wonderful millennials and you're overwhelmed and you're feeling stuck, and you're feeling like you're trying to figure out this purpose, go over these strategies and how to get clarity and how to apply these in your life and work it. These are strategies that need to be implemented. These are strategies that need to be applied to where you are, so you can it can manifest in your life and you can get the clarity that you seek. So be sure to do that. Encourage you. Let you know again, Adulting in My Purpose, the journal, is available on Amazon. If you don't have it, grab it. Go to Amazon.com, Adulting in Your Purpose. You can just do a search and it comes out. Also, for those who missed, again, I am doing, I'm going to be doing these lives every Wednesday at 8:30, but I also started a kind of like a small group, and we're doing a 7-day challenge. And I did this before with another group, and we actually did 7 weeks of going through the journal chapter by chapter. There's 7 sections in this personal growth journal. And we went through 7 weeks each chapter. And let me tell you, the transformation was amazing. Just to see the awareness, just to see the aha moments, just to see the breakthroughs that these young people had in their lives. And now to see them keep going strong and doing and forging into their dreams is just amazing. So I did 7 weeks with that first group. So now I'm changing it up a little bit, and it's a 7-day challenge. And I started the challenge last week, so I have a group going through a 7-day challenge now, and we're almost finished. I think we're on like day 4, and the transformation and the aha moments and the awareness that they are experiencing is truly amazing. And they'll have testimonials for you on their journey as well. So I'm going to do it again. So the next group I am going to work with will start on April 23rd. So that's going to be my next group. So if you are a millennial, young adult professional, young adult in your 20s, 30s, and you're needing guidance, and you're saying to yourself that you want to level up your thinking, you want to level up in your life, you truly want to understand your purpose, truly want to do the things that God has called you to do, make a commitment. Make a commitment to say that you're going to take the 7-day challenge. I'm going to put the link for you to register, because registration is required. So there's no charge for this, but registration is required. And make the commitment that you're going to go through 7 days. 7 days. We're quarantined now for the rest of April. So this is the best time now than ever to grow. We're definitely going to continue to keep everybody in the world in prayer and all that's going on. But while we are in the midst of this storm, Wouldn't it be amazing to come out the storm greater than when we went in? Wouldn't it be amazing to be closer to the God and have a better understanding of what our purpose is and what we're called to do and what we're supposed to do, that once we're all done and finished with this season, that we have clarity in where we're going? Wouldn't that be amazing? And that's what I want for everybody that goes through this challenge, 7-day challenge. So again, 7-day challenge. I'll put the link in the comment section for those that are my wonderful millennials to register and who wants to grow with me. And so that is my time again. Hey Barbara, welcome. Hey Ethel. Hey Kenya. I hope that was helpful for everybody. And we'll be here again next Wednesday at 8:30. So you can say you are adulting in my purpose.